Okay, we're live. Um, so it's been 2 weeks, so we'll do a quick refresher. You guys are currently in the city of Brass. Um, you had just gotten a makeover, courtesy of a Jin and a some payments from De La Vega. You are currently on your way to a art exhibit.
We're not on our way yet.
Okay.
Soon to be.
You are soon to be on your way to an art exhibit hosted by an Ifriti. You have about an hour before the showcase is supposed to begin. What do you want to do?
Well, Mist would like to talk to Rin, the clothing designer.
Okay.
About 3 outfits for her part-time job at the Spiced Orchid.
Okay. Of course. What's your job entail?
Well, I'm going to be doing massages as well as servicing the patrons in other ways, and assisting in serving tea.
Delightful, delightful. I have just the thing. And that'll be about 5 crowns.
Okay. I do let him know.
And yes, Tucker is exactly what you're thinking it is.
Okay, I was actually.
5 crowns, I can do that. I would like, if possible, for it to have some magical properties for protection. Poor Scott.
Of course, of course, of course. I will weave them into the cloth. You will be protected from any manner of parasite or disease.
Thank you very much.
Okay, getting past that. Is there anything else you want to do?
There isn't anything I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to get some clarification.
Okay.
So, the building on our splash screen right now, what is that? Or is it just a splash screen?
That's just a splash screen right now. I got generic art of the city of Brass.
Okay.
But that would be a good example of both the architecture and general color scheme of what you're looking at.
Okay. I mean, does most of the city look like that, or is that just?
Oh yeah, the entire city is that.
Okay. And the other thing is, just because I can't remember, is the Ifriti who is our host, is that also the entity that has the artifact that we want to gather?
The artifact being Lioness? Yes.
Oh no, well, I thought he was the one, but is he also the one who has the sword that is the counterpart to Rindle's sword?
Oh yeah, yes. He also has that sword.
Okay.
He's going to be displaying a lot of his art.
Okay. But yeah, that's what I wanted to know. If the host was the villain or if the villain is just bad.
Villain is kind of a awkward word. The adversary would be a better term. I mean, Ifriti are not nice, but if you guys are planning on stealing crap, technically that would make you the villains, I would imagine. But yeah, so it's you guys have an hour to explore the city of Brass, or you can go ahead and move on to the soiree, I guess.
I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
That moat I got, that's supposed to, I could attach to armor and stuff like that. How does that work exactly?
You just tell me that if you want to attach it to an armor, that'll add. And you can attach it to already magical armor as well. It'll add +1 AC to that armor.
Mm-hmm.
And give you some protection against orcs. You can do the same thing.
Is it something that you could take off and reattach to something else, or is it a one-off?
You can take it off, but you'd be destroying the weapon when you do so, or armor.
Or the armor. All right. So.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Do you want to move on to the party then?
Sure, I'm up for it.
Okay. So, essentially, you arrive at a building very similar to the splash page. Not exactly that. The statuary is quite a bit different. The primarily less, I would say, kind of fey and more. It's smaller, more subdued gargoyles and vines as you approach the front door. There's a bunch of people meandering in, all dressed in actually finer clothes than you are. There's a guard, a kind of ashen-skinned dwarf gentleman, kind of beckoning people in. Just very quickly, it looks like he's counting how many people are coming in at any given time.
Okay. Does it look like he's looking for invitations or just taking count of the people?
He's just taking count. It looks like this is a fairly public event.
Okay. And De La Vega was with us, but he was kind of dressed down, acting kind of like a bodyguard?
Yes.
All right.
Junior stayed home, right?
Who?
Well, not home, but at the hotel.
Say again?
Junior.
Oh yeah,
Let me see.
Junior is not here.
Okay.
Catherine is with you. Warren is not. Basically, Junior is watching over Warren right now.
Okay. Let's saunter on in.
The dwarf gentleman. You folks don't look like you're from here. But most of what you've seen, by the way, are very red-skinned. You've seen those fire newts. You've seen a bunch of different types of genie. Primarily Afridi, but you've seen some Jinn and some Dao walk in as well. You were also significantly... the dwarf is about the only thing that's your height. Like, everybody else is significantly taller than you.
Okay.
Very large.
Well, we heard about this art exhibit, and we went out of our way to come attend and see all of the amazing pieces.
And where are you from exactly?
The material plane?
Of course. But where on the material plane? The material plane is a very large place. Rendell, actually, so the Abyssal Shear, they were able to kind of cover up the inherent abyssal nature of it, but it's still a great sword, so it's not like you can just squirrel it away somewhere.
You're muted, Chester.
Oh, cool. Inverted buttoning. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't waltzing in there looking like I had the thing they were looking for on my shoulder. If it could look like any other great sword, that'd be fantastic.
They managed to glamour it to make it look like a very well-made but standard great sword. However, you know that if anybody tries to like detect magic or do anything or has any ability to see through illusions, they're going to be able to tell right away what it is.
Cool. Just not making it easy. That's all that matters.
Well, we're from Kulkaran's Rest.
Well, most of us.
Yeah.
And then Varla tells him where he's from, but I don't remember the name of the city.
That's fine. I've never actually had the pleasure of that world. Perhaps. But
I mean, I suppose technically.
Chili conies are the best. You should really try them.
What's the best?
The chili conies.
um,
They serve them right on the docks.
He kind of looks over all of you, sniffs slightly, and then, oh, very well. Just try not to touch anything. He kind of ushers you in.
Okay, thank you very much.
So the doors are open wide, which is a good thing because you're pretty sure you would not be able to push these doors open. It's obviously made for creatures that are at least 10 feet tall and designed to impress such creatures. So you're looking at a door that's probably about 50 feet tall. And made of solid brass. So, but as you push open the doors, you find yourself in kind of in a vestibule. About 60 feet up is a second story. To your immediate right is a room that seem to have it looks basically like a coat check. But again, you are ridiculously tiny compared to just about everybody else in here. So you see ornate robes about 12 feet in length, and but you do see also another coat check for creatures about your height, and even a smaller one. You're not entirely sure what that one's for. You also see a weapon check. It looks like they don't want you to be armed while walking around here. In fact, to Rindle, who is the most obviously armed right now, they immediately usher, please check that thing on your back. The creature talking to you is was about 12 feet tall, kind of a red-skinned gentleman, but as soon as he starts talking to you, he shrinks down to about 6 feet tall.
And what assurances are you offering today that this will be kept safe in your care?
I offer you the assurances of the master of this house. It will be upon his honor and his eternal gratitude. No theft will come to any item stored in this area.
And he's an honorable sort, your master, because I've heard very mixed reviews.
He is true to his word.
And his word is that I will receive this precise sword back when I leave today.
Yes. When you leave, you will receive this sword back.
I will obviously be double-checking that with him, as I'm actually here on an invited meeting to meet with him today. And,
legit, Randall.
What?
And Marlowe flips around his spear, extends it just to show it off, and then the guy.
Okay. He immediately takes it, puts it on a weapon rack. You then see this weird flash of energy as it touches the weapon rack, and says, "Very well. No creature will be able to touch this weapon again, except for yourself or me, or my own self."
All right, I'll hand over my weapons.
Okay. Same thing.
Rindle will unshoulder the greatsword and add it to the mix with one of these for the guy babysitting it.
Again, it's always a flash of pulse of energy as soon as you put it in the weapon rack. You get the sense that the weapon rack itself is enchanted.
My weapons are in my haversack, so it looks like a purse, you said?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
If you'd like, you can have these, and he'll hand his stack of tail daggers. But they're really more for entertainment purposes, and he'll start juggling them.
Okay, go ahead and give me a performance check. Yeah. he smiles actually at that. He's like, "Ah, that was very entertaining. We don't care about your butter knives."
They're really sharp. Like I'm like risking fingers right here.
No, I understand. They are highly dangerous to you.
Rindle's gonna place a hand on his shoulder and be like, "Don't worry, they don't need to know that you're more of a weapon than that spear you already locked in there." And just kind of brush past this ass clown
Okay.
with his cane still in hand because fuck him.
Yeah. Okay. So
Mist, as she leaves, will whisper to Marlo, "Remember, you killed a werewolf with a little fork." And then follows off after Rendell.
I really did.
okay. So there are actually two doors in this coat check room. One it looks like leads to a closet, and in fact, as he opens it up, there just seems to be more coats in the room beyond. The other room seems to lead off to a small, relative to the size of this building, spiral staircase leading both down and up. And then there's another room that you can slightly see beyond that leads, it looks like, to a hallway. And then, of course, there's a room back to the main chamber.
Well, are we heading back out to the main chamber? I kind of would think we would.
Direction is the exhibit.
You actually see people moving around. There are paintings and various items in the main chamber, but you guys were kind of ushered to this coat check room pretty quickly. You get the sense that this building, the exhibit, is pretty much everywhere. While a residence is more of a art museum than anything else.
Okay. Well, Mist is going to go back out to the main chamber, and then are there servants walking around with trays of food and beverages?
Yes, but again, you're really small comparatively.
I'm going to have to tap someone's leg. Can I have some of that?
Even worse for me.
Yeah, one of the things you do notice actually is constructs seem to be like brass automatons seem to be running around with the trays. They actually fly, so you kind of have to wave to get them to come down to you. But
down here,
you see one of them. It's kind of in the shape of a monkey with wings, and it kind of snaps its head and then flies down to you and presents a tray of. You have no idea what it is. It looks like a cracker with some type of mysterious meat on top of it, and a roasted pepper, but you can't identify the meat.
I'm going to talk to the flying monkey. Is it possible for me to get some fruit and cheese and maybe a glass of something to drink?
It cracks its head and just presents the tray.
I'll take a cracker.
And it flies off as soon as you do.
Sniff it.
It smells like meat. It smells good, actually, but you don't know what it is.
Does it have fish eggs on it?
No, there's no caviar. Although, you do kind of get a sense that if you wanted it, you could probably get some, but...
I lean over to Rendell. You don't think they'd serve something that people visiting wouldn't be able to eat, right?
I'm pretty sure they trusted the discernment of their guests to eat only what they can handle.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. Give it a bite and see how it tastes.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and eat the cracker.
Okay, it's pretty salty, but it's all right. The cracker is very good. The meat, again, you have no context for figuring out what it is, so it just tastes like salty, slightly fishy meat.
Okay. Well, I guess, Rendell, Marlo, Mealy, I guess we should maybe split up and start looking around for the specific art that we're looking for, or maybe the owner or master of the house that we need to talk to.
And or Odin, as he's arranging the introductions this evening.
Okay.
Okay, so
To me. Wait, what art are we looking for again?
Lioness as a golden statue, I think.
Oh, right.
Catherine said. Oh, where is Catherine? She's still with us?
yeah, she's kind of wandering, meandering around a little bit. She but she's basically following, I would say, Rindle, actually.
Okay.
Well then.
But as I said, so I'm assuming you guys left the coat check room and back to the main area, right?
Yes.
So in here, there's a door open to your left, which looks like a well-appointed, like, I would say, study. Large, again, stuffed chairs that you guys would have to like, climb up into. The actual room you're in is decorated with fantastic, really painted artworks, most of which move as you look at them. They seem to tell individual stories, mostly of ancient gods, and there's at least one that tells the story of the Blood War. One you see marks the fall of Zariel. Rindle, you would instantly recognize that one. In the room beyond, if you head north, you can see a room with huge windows, just light cascading in from the volcanoes that are directly behind this building, and you see in this dead center is a golden statue.
Oh, well, I guess we don't have to split up.
Dogs. Oddly, yes, you see a picture of dogs playing poker in the room to your left.
Any signs of Odin?
Make an investigation check on that one. You also see in the room, you can kind of see that there's at least two doors in the room beyond with the statue in it. Oh yeah, you find. So
he thought he could be squirrely.
So Rindle, you actually see Odin actually in the room off to the left of the main area, in the kind of study area. He is, as a Rakshasa, he's able to shapeshift. So he's actually is appearing as about a 12-foot tall giant, like stone giant, but he has all the same markings. You instantly tell that it's Odin.
Fantastic. I'm gonna signal the others and nod that way. Kind of go like this, indicate that I'm going that way.
Okay.
And I'm gonna walk past him first to make sure he sees me, so as not to rudely interpose myself on any job he might be working, and then allow him to come to me.
Okay.
Mist is going to head towards the golden statue and start looking around at investigating that room, seeing exit points and what sort of things are around the statue to protect it.
Okay, I need you to make a investigation check on that one.
Okay.
What's everyone else doing?
I'm going to the statue, checking it out.
Okay, so you have advantage on that, Mist.
Okay, that's good. It's a 7. That's not much better.
It's a statue. It's a statue of a half-elven woman. She seems to have... the entire thing seems to be made out of gold, except for clutched... Well, not tightly, but kind of like haphazardly laid in one of her hands is it looks like a letter, or like a scroll.
Okay. Do I see any writing on the scroll?
You see a seal.
Okay.
You can tell that you actually recognize this seal, as you've dealt with contracts from this particular entity before. It's Hezekiah's seal.
Mist actually starts chuckling to herself, looking around for appetizers or food, and says under her breath that sneaky little bastard. He's actually starting to grow on me.
Rindle, so I actually don't know what stone cunning does. What does that do?
That was more for Miley, because that was... I didn't write it on here, but that's...
Oh, yeah.
They can identify in the stone shit. It's a dwarven racial thing. I'd have to look it up again.
Okay.
Does a thing.
Yeah, I actually don't know what that does, so you're gonna have to read that to me.
Okay.
What you think?
When Mealy gets to it, if I can help her with her check, I think that would be better than Mist doing an investigation.
You cannot help with a stone cunning check. You do not have stone cunning.
All right. That's a good point. All right. Looking for food and beverages, laughing under my breath, slightly cursing, but also very amused at Hezekiah.
Okay.
So stone cunning for Miley is whenever they make an intelligence history check related to the origin of stonework, they are considered proficient in a history skill and can add or double your proficiency bonus to the check instead of normal proficiency bonus.
Okay. Cool.
I just knew it was a thing.
Okay. I will actually allow Mealy with advantage to make a history check on something around the statue.
Around the statue?
Yeah.
All right.
It is not technically stone cunning, but you see... Yeah. But go ahead and make that check. Okay. So Mealy actually... She doesn't know what, but it seems like as she looks up at some of the carvings of the various gargoyles that are actually sitting on these pillars as like breaks, you get the sense that they're moving and they seem to be watching the statue. They also are all armed with what looks like halberds.
All right, I'm gonna walk up to Mist and just kind of gently nudge her, and then kind of like look at the gargoyles a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I look up at the gargoyles around.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty intricate. Are they something we need to worry about?
And I'll just whisper, I'm like, they're moving. They're watching the statue.
Oh. Okay. So in this room, is there any exits to the outside or other rooms?
Yeah, there's two. Again, off to your left and to your right. The door to your right is closed. It's the first real closed door that you've seen here. And then the door to your left is open up into what looks like a room, a fairly large room actually, with a very ornate fireplace.
Okay.
And in the center of which there seems to be a glass case with some type of spear.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, Mealy, do you think we should look around a little bit more? I mean, Rendell was going to try to talk to the master, but if that goes south, we might want to know the layout of the house and other things around it.
Yeah, probably should.
Okay. So I guess we're going to wander into the fireplace room.
Okay.
And we'll look in there if you want to skip to one of the other players as to what they're doing.
Okay. Marlo, we haven't heard from you in a bit. You went off to talk to you went looking at the guards?
Looking for guards. Like he's trying to find, because he doesn't know about the gargoyles. He was trying to look to see,
Okay.
if there were
Go ahead and
maybe
make it.
guards that weren't so obvious, lightly dressed. Maybe people in the party that are actually servants.
Okay, go ahead and make a investigation check, please. As far as you're concerned, like, you've been to these things, usually there are guards around and everybody's watching the art. It looks like this, like, wow, there is nobody protecting any of this stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Wait, but so are you staying in the main area, or are you going to go look for or are you gonna be looking around?
Well, if
I
I
should-
notice that spear, I'm gonna go look at the spear.
Okay, well that's actually not in your field of view if you stayed in the main area. If you went to
He went to the room with the statue.
okay, then
He
you
also
see.
saw the statue. He was
Okay, so yeah, you see this. You see the spear, very much so.
how big is it?
It's about 6.5 feet long. It's actually kind of odd that it would be here. Because again, with the scale of everything, but yeah, it's 6.5 feet long. You do see a little plaque on it that just says Zephyr.
Cool. Does it look like is it 6.5 feet long, like it's a long spear, or is it 6.5 feet long and it's wider? It looks like it's for a larger creature.
It looks like it's just a long spear.
Okay.
As for the spear itself, it's probably the simplest thing you've seen so far here. It's not made out of gold. It's not oddly moving. Although when you look at the blade, it looks extremely sharp, and there seems to be some distortion around it, like the air is moving around it. A long ribbon is tied about 6 inches back from where the tip of where the point begins, and that is fluttering in the wind as well.
And it's behind glass, or
Yeah, well, kind of. So there's no top to this glass. There is a like sides to it, and it's raised up. So like when you're looking at it, you're actually having to look up at it because it's been raised up. But yeah, it's behind just a little glass case.
are there any other, Jinn type creatures in the room with us?
So you actually see, so there is a Jinn that's looking at it and kind of like it looks like they're bored by it, basically. There is you actually see a bone devil kind of eyeing it with a certain amount of like desire. As you also scan the room, you realize there's another door off further into the hall that leads to another room, and then one that goes back to that study you saw before.
Okay. Marla goes up to the bored-looking Jinn.
Oh yes.
Excuse me. I noticed you were looking at this. It seems a little plain for the rest of this place. I thought maybe you knew what was in here. Like, I'm kind of new to the area.
Oh, the master likes to flaunt his triumphs. Zephyr there is a insult to my kind, but
So it is a Jinn, like a
yeah.
Okay, an insult. That's not very nice.
No, but he's done this every year. At this point, he's just being a little bit of a bastard.
Well, does the spear belong to like someone of your persuasion?
The spear is someone of our persuasion.
Huh. Starting to get a little bit of ideas. I'm starting to get an idea of our host. It seems like he does this a lot.
It's a favorite pastime of his.
Beautiful. I mean, I guess we shouldn't like insult someone who invited us into their warm home, so I won't do that. But on my world, they have a thing called karma.
Oh,
And what goes around arms around, and he winks and walks off.
Okay. Let's get back to Rindle. Rindle, did you enter the study or did you stay in the main area? I forgot.
Rindle was going to try and discreetly pass by Odin so that Odin would recognize he was there.
Okay.
But he didn't want to intrude on any job he might be working at the moment. And he was going to let Odin come to him once he was done with his present.
Okay, as you pass by, so when you entered the study, you would have noticed the study has it. There was an open book on a coffee table. It's an illuminated text. It's, as far as you can tell, there's nothing magical about it, but it's a beautiful piece of work. It's also huge. It's like this big. You also noticed, so there's the room, a room going north, which leads to where the spear is, and then there's another room that leads to what looks like a huge dining hall. On the dining table is a array of various foods from around the plains.
I would probably occupy myself examining the book if it's actually open to pages to, pass the time.
It very much is.
I'll probably pass the time waiting for Odin and then checking that out for now.
Okay, so you spend, I would say, about 5 minutes, and then Odin walks up like, it's beautiful, but of mundane text, Rindle.
Agreed, and definitely not what I'm here for. Were you able to arrange the meeting that we discussed?
Oh, yes. It'll take a good hour, I would say. He has plenty of sycophants trying to get his attention.
Understood. Anything you recommend seeing or doing while we wait?
He has a cruel sense of humor, but the chapel is always interesting, and and I would, to somebody of your magical persuasion, the library is a good place to go.
Fantastic. Which way is that?
He indicates if you head through the dining hall, go to the door to the north, and then there is a small alcove that leads to one of the a small hexagonal room. That's the library.
Fantastic. Well then, I look forward to the meeting. Enjoy your time. And then I'm gonna go there.
Okay, so you're gonna head to the library?
Heck yeah, sounds like a good time.
Okay, so again, you pass the dining hall facility. There's a bunch of gargoyles arrayed. You can tell that pretty much every carving in this area seems to be animated. You're intelligent enough to realize that these are probably the guards. As you cross into another room, this seems to be actually a parlor. There's some art, but it seems like it's where a bunch of people are just getting smashed. Beyond, you also have, as you enter the room, you get this acrid scent of basically hookah and pipe smoke. It's bad cigars. All of it is commingling in this room. But you do see the library beyond.
Yep, that room doesn't hold a whole lot of appeal. Gotta keep going for that library.
Okay. As soon as you get to the library, there is, it is huge. What's interesting about here is all the books here actually are for medium-sized creatures, but the library itself is big enough to hold large-sized creatures. So despite its relatively tight quarters, it's actually it is well stocked.
Anything in the way of an indexing card catalog type service going on around here?
Go ahead and make an investigation check. Okay, so apparently the Afridi are not into the Dewey Decimal System. You don't see a card catalog or anything. You do.
Heathens.
You do kind of. But as you're searching through, you do recognize you recognize that there seems to be one section composed almost entirely of spell books.
Yeah, I'll probably go hang out there.
Okay. And you do recognize a name whose soul you had briefly absorbed.
Gotcha. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Okay.
I even wrote it down somewhere. Arad.
Yeah.
Aaron. Got it. I'm gonna browse that book good.
Okay. Okay, we'll get to that in just a second. You do notice that the spell books, like half of the books seem to be just open, but there's also a glass panel between each book, and the Arad is actually behind a glass cabinet door. But no one is in here, and you don't see any of those gargoyles in here either.
Is it locked? Or is it just like...
Yes, it is actually locked.
Take one, leave one.
Okay, so we'll get back to you in just a second. Mealy and Mist, you guys are still with the statue, right?
No, we walked into the fireplace room, which you said had the spear. So,
okay.
we'd be in the same room with Marlowe, but after looking around there, Mist at least is going to wander into the parlor, which, if I remember, your description would be, it's adjoining this fireplace room, right?
Yeah.
So into the parlor, not into the study area.
Okay.
So acrid smoke.
Yeah, again, acrid smoke. A lot of people just lounging. You go ahead and make an investigation check.
Okay. That's a 6.
Can I make one too?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, Mealy, you're so beyond the smoke, like the haze of smoke, it's hard to see. But you've noticed an ornate on the This room actually has a fireplace as well, not as defined, not as big as the other one, but on the mantle, which sits a model of a obsidian horse. Kind of rearing back, and while normally you wouldn't, I mean, it's a horse, it's whatever, but you get a strong sense of magical energy coming from that horse.
Like, it's just strong enough that even I would, just normally, it's not abnormally strong.
Yeah, it's abnormally strong. In fact, you can tell that of the creatures that are here that don't seem to be getting high, all of their eyes keep on looking back at that horse. And those creatures are almost all fiends of some sort.
Alright. I'll just be like, to Mist, I'll be like, I think there's something going on with that horse. It's like, there's some strong power coming from it, and everybody's looking at it funny.
Okay. Can I do a history check on the horse?
Sure.
It's Pegasus.
No, that's a 4.
Okay.
I mean, there might be something to it, but I mean, I guess now that you pointed it out, I can kind of sense magic from it, but it doesn't look familiar to me.
Yeah.
I suppose we could talk to some of the people here and find out why it keeps drawing their attention.
Yeah, we can.
All right, so tell us about the patrons in this area, that the fiends that keep looking up, or the other patrons around.
Most of the fiends around here, they all seem to be, they look mainly like they're Cambions, so like half fiends.
Okay.
All red-skinned, horns, in very tight-fitting, but full clothes. Like, it's not. They're not. Usually, you see Cambions who follow their incubi parentage, or a little actually less dressed than this. But they each seem to be contemplating the statue. Again, it's the same look you kind of saw from the Jin at the at that spear.
Okay. So before I approach him, I'm actually going to shift my hair to make sure my adorable little horns are showing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will walk up and say, "Good evening." Yes, they're adorable little horns.
Good evening.
And hi, I'm sorry. My allergies are kicking my butt.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering what brought you here to this art exhibit.
Same thing, I think, that brings everybody here. Trying to beseech the master of this place to let go of one of his hostages.
And okay, so I'm guessing that that horse has something to do with the hostage you're trying to free?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
If you want, if Miss wants to look at it, there is a plaque directly below that.
Okay, I'll try to read the
Just
plaque.
says Nightwind.
Nightwind? Okay. All right. So, other than the fiends, is there anyone else in this room that seems to be paying attention to the horse?
Actually, yes. You didn't notice him before because he was, or them, because they were both short and kind of hiding in the background. But you see a Yuan-ti, you see actually two Yuan-tis standing in the corner, kind of fixated on the horse as well.
Okay. Well, I think the Yuan-ti might be a little bit easier to talk to than the fiend, who seems somewhat curmudgeonly right now. So I will thank the fiend for his time, and I will walk over to the Yuan-ti.
Okay. They seem to be in deep conversation about something. I don't think you speak Yuan-ti, so.
Nope, I don't.
You just hear a lot of hissings.
All right, if they are actively engaged in conversation, then I'm not going to interrupt them. I will stand near them and wait for a break in their conversation while I'm watching the other people in the room.
Okay.
It's very rude to interrupt someone's conversation.
Yep.
So, yeah. So I will wait until they are ready to converse.
Okay. Rindle, what are you up to?
Examining the glass enclosure of this cool book on Arad's magic in theory.
Okay.
Be right back.
It looks like a glass enclosure. You think if you had a set of lock picks, you could probably pop that lock.
Are there gargoyles in this room?
No.
Can I actually see? Like, is there like just a bar on the other side that gets flipped up, or like what kind of a lock are we talking about here?
It's like a cabinet lock.
So like Mage Hand might.
Yeah. I'll give you to get it in there, but it's again, it looks like the key would be about that big.
I don't have a key, but I was just thinking, if I could use a spell to get around that, because
it's just it's a simple latch, like.
Yeah. So either, prestidigitation, if it's not a magical lock, could probably pop that up, right?
You need to make an Arcana check, but yeah, I'll let you try.
I can do that. I have the skills. I got skills to roll a 1. Ooh, not a 1. Yay.
Okay, yeah, simple enough. You were able to actually pop that lock. The
Let's
glass,
see if we set off an alarm.
as far as you can tell, no.
Cool.
Um,
Then yeah, I'm gonna pop it open and see if I can't take a look at this book. Not pocketing or anything. Like I'm not
Miss.
trying to be like shady. Like I'm just popping that,
Well,
looking
as
at it
you're-
right there and there.
okay, as you're waiting for the two Yuan-Ti to get done with their conversation, you immediately notice the gargoyles in your room now all focused straight at the library.
It's like, okay, what's going on with those things? That seems ominous. And I'm fairly certain we didn't see Rendell going into the library.
No, he got there way before. He got there before you guys did.
Okay, so I'm not moving there. I'm just kind of watching the gargoyles at this point then.
Okay. Marlo, what are you doing?
So, are there only Jinn in the fireplace room?
No, I mean, there's a smattering. There's of Freedy, Dow, but they mainly are moving on. You see You actually see some Modrons running around.
Sorry, I don't know what Modrons are.
They're little.
Back yourself.
They look like dice. They're little creatures from the plane of from the lawful plane of Mechanus. They're simple creatures. They are living, but they're basically automatons. The way they don't really have free will.
Okay.
Let's see, what else would you see? You actually see some Gith in this room as well.
Okay.
And you see you think it's a woman, but it's hard to tell. Somebody wrapped in these ornate, colorful scarves is leaning against. Is kind of leaning against the fireplace. She looks like she's just waiting on something.
Okay. So I put one hand on the glass.
Mm-hmm.
With my other hand, I just kind of flip one of my tail knives up and down a little bit, like juggling, but one-handed.
Mm-hmm.
And I wink over at the Jinn that I was talking about, and I will cast Warding Wind and let it run for like 15 seconds and turn it off.
Okay. What does Warding Wind do?
It just basically makes a 10-foot radius around me. Makes wind blow around. It normally like blocks range attacks and makes rough terrain.
Okay.
But I'm not really doing it for that purpose. I'm just like doing it, and then as I run it, and then I let it go. You'll be free one day.
Okay.
And I wink at the Jinn, and then I walk over. Is that the mysterious person still there? Did I do that?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll walk over to her.
I sense power.
There's a lot of power here, man. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be modest.
I sense moral power. Most of these creatures are defined by their own nature. You seem interesting.
Well, I don't know about that, man. I'm not gonna die if it's not necessary. But I suppose mortal power is, at least now, kind of, I guess. What can I do for you?
You could entertain me. This party is boring me.
What's that? How tall is she? Now that I'm closer and I can see her.
She's about 8 feet tall.
Okay. Does she appear to be a genie of any type, or?
Really hard to tell. You do notice it looks like she has human eyes, though. Like it's not. There doesn't seem to be. And
So
what
she's
you
completely
little
shrouded.
she is. Yeah, it's just
On
colorful
like
scarves. It's basic. She's basically wrapped like a mummy.
oh, okay.
But you can see some of the as she talks. You can see some skin beyond that and skin here, and you just see olive skin. It doesn't look like it's the kind of blue genie color or the red Afridi color. Like
Well, we could dance, but I'd probably have to stand on your ankles, maybe even your knees. How about a little song? You sing?
I don't sing, but I always appreciate a ballad sung in my name.
Hmm. Well, I mean, I don't know your name, so
My name is Wenfang.
Winfang. With a D?
With a G.
Wing Fang.
No, Wen. W-E-N.
Okay.
Which
Wen.
Marlowe would recognize that name.
Oh, he would?
Yeah.
Okay. Tucker does not recognize that name?
Yeah, no, I know he doesn't. This Wenfang is the name of the pirate queen of the northern coasts.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Meow.
Actually, he pulls out his flute and he plays basically the same shanty that he played in the tavern earlier when he was really, really drunk.
Okay. Go ahead and do a performance check.
Okay.
A fine rendition of a song, although I was hoping for something a little more creative.
Well, we'll do that privately.
It's hard to tell, but you sense she is smiling at you. Who haven't we gone to in a while? Mealy, what are you up to?
I'm in that one room. I'm just going to walk up to one of the people that are eyeing the horse, and I'm just going to be like, everything around here seems to have such a story. It's like, do you know what the story of this one is?
Oh yes, oh yes. The Nightwind was a fine, fine creature. One of the great war horses of the infernal plains, but she was taken from us by a group of mortals who convinced that her services were better spent elsewhere. For her audacity, she was trapped in that statue and sold to the master of this house.
I'll give him a sympathetic look and just be like, it seems like that's what's going on around here with a lot of the things.
Yes, he is a right prick.
I'll laugh and I'll be like, it seems so. And then I'll go off to find Mist.
Okay. Mist, you're still standing by the auntie, right?
Yep. I'm waiting for them to have a break in their conversation to talk to them, and keeping an eye on the gargoyles that all are looking at the library now.
Okay. We'll get back to that in just a second. Rindle, you took the book down, right? You opened it and took it down?
So yeah, I'm not like pocketing this thing. I'm literally like flipping through it right there at the bookshelf. Like
Okay, so there's a few things. First of all, you quite recognize the fact that. And give me a second so I can tell you exactly all the spells that are in here. Just give me a second. So this seems to be the Wizards in Question's ritual spellbook. So first thing you get is a very long treatise on how to extract blood magic from a willing sacrifice, which you kind of already know, but you now realize that if you got somebody that was willing to, you could actually use somebody else's blood. But it always has to be somebody willing. But as you go through the book, the following spells are in here: Alarm, Animal Messenger, Augury, Beast Sense, Ceremony, Commune, Commune with Nature, Comprehend Languages, Contact Other Planes, Detect Magic, Detect Poison and Disease, Divination, Feign Death, Find Familiar, Floating Disc, Forbiddance, Gentle Repose, Identify, Illusory Script, Leomund's Tiny Hut, Locate Animals and Plants, Magic Mouth, Meld into Stone, Phantom Steed, Silence, Skywrite, Speak with Animals, Telepathic Bond, Unseen Servant, Water Breathing, and Water Walk. Pretty much you're looking at every single ritual spell you've ever even heard of.
Cool, because I missed quite a bunch of them. I was really trying to keep up. I was like, holy crap. Well, that's pretty awesome. How complex, like, are these multiple page long rituals, or?
Yeah, they're multiple page long rituals. You would need the entire book in order to, or you'd have to spend like 2 weeks with this book in order to copy down all these spells.
Interesting.
But you also know, because of your experience, you could actually use this book straight.
Like, just use it like right here and now, your type thing.
It would, like, yeah, but it would be require you to cast a ritual. But like, if you were able to take this book with you, you would be able to.
Yeah. Much like my own Book of Shadows type gig.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think if there's a discreet way to get this even out of here. I don't think there is at the moment.
You do notice there are windows in the library, by the way. Just to let you know.
I'll probably have to come back for this later.
Okay.
So for now, I'm going to put this back in the glass case. I'm going to go ahead and shut the glass and put the shenanigan back down the way I found it for now.
Okay, Mist, as soon as the lock relatches, not that you know what's going on, but you see that the gargoyles go back to their original state.
That's really weird. Okay. Yep. Have the Yuan-ti
in fact, they kind of... Is there something we can help you with? They notice you've been kind of...
Well, I hope so. I was waiting for you to finish your conversation. I didn't want to be rude and intrude. I'm Mist. Nice to meet you. I hold my hand out.
The male shakes her hand. I'm Sithark, and this is my companion, Arissa.
So at the name Sithark, Mist kind of looks a little alarmed. He goes, Thrice didn't send you to find me, did he?
Oh, no. We're... Actually, he looks kind of shocked at the word Thrace. Our employment with that creature terminated about a week ago.
Okay. Well, I think that's probably a good thing. He seemed to like manipulating people. Wow, well, this is really weird. I was supposed to meet up with you before Missandra took off, but then she took off, and so...
Yes, Miss Seraphis is somewhere around here.
Oh, fuck, really? She's not sending assassins after me again, is she?
They look very confused at you.
I'm sorry. I don't... Kind of holds my head, rubs it a little bit. Never
now,
mind.
if you excuse us, we have to figure out how we're going to get a friend down from that mantle.
Oh, Nightwind is your friend?
Quite.
Okay, so I am going to whisper, says, well, we're currently working on getting one of our friends out of here, and if the negotiations fail, supposedly all this stuff's going into a vault in, at this point, a day and 3/4. If you'd be willing to work together to possibly get both our friends out.
That is a fool's errand. I don't think you quite understand how the master works.
Well, I would love if you'd be able to fill me in a bit.
Marlo, you actually, so you, okay, so you find a bathroom back beyond the coat check room, beyond that staircase.
But the toilet's 8 feet tall, so you're gonna have to climb.
Well, there is that problem. As you're going through, you actually go down a hallway. A large armoire is sitting and standing there. As you pass by, something's weird. You notice something's very strange about your reflection on the mirrors, but I think your intelligence isn't high enough to kind of figure it out. So, but yeah, but you go down that hallway, take a right, and you find the bathrooms fairly easily. You also hear chanting on the room beyond.
Okay. He's just looking for a moderately private area.
Okay, it's easy enough. The restrooms are probably your best bet.
Okay. He just wants to get into the music box so he can summon the harpsichord so that he can get his script for his whaling play.
Okay, you retrieve your script.
Cool. And then he dissipates it all.
Okay.
Back. If there is if there are smaller facilities in the facilities, he will, freshen up a little bit, but
Okay.
that's mainly all he wanted to do.
Okay. There is a sink, but yeah, there is indoor plumbing. It looks like the water is scalding hot, though.
Yeah, so there's probably a moment where he's like, "Oh, nope,
Okay.
never mind." Then he'll go back.
Okay.
But I think Becca was asking me something.
Okay. So Becca with Sithork and Arissa.
Mm-hmm.
The house will not let anything be taken from here that belongs to the master. It will trap and destroy you before you can even blink.
Well, and I'm still whispering to them, well, that was kind of why I thought it would be better to go to the vault after this whole thing.
Probably recommended, but subterfuge is not one of mine or Arissa's skills.
Okay, can I ask you something? Because your friend is trapped in that statue, right?
Yes.
What happens if someone dispels the magic?
It would be interesting to see you try.
Naturally. But would you know? Is it possible, or is it...
While Arissa has some skill with the arts, that is beyond my abilities. I do not know.
Okay.
But it is magic of an extremely potent nature.
Hmm. Okay.
I have heard that only a spell of equal power to a genie's wish can dispel a genie's wish.
Ooh, that's pretty strong. Okay, so I guess for both of our friends, we need to find something that Sandeep wants more than them. Hmm.
Sandeep was only interested in hostages and power.
Hostages and power, huh? Well, he's a winner. All right. Well, thank you very much. If I can think of anything that would help both of us, I will come find you, and I hope you'd be willing to possibly consider me in assisting you as well.
We shall see.
Okay. At that point, Mist will wander off, keeping an eye now out for Meseraphis.
Okay. Marlo, as you're hearing this chanting, you realize it's not chanting so much as a song, and you kind of recognize the voice.
Is it my voice?
No, it's a female voice. A voice you've heard twice, specifically at the Copper Coral.
Oh. Do I know the song?
No, because there's no real lyrics to it. It's more of like the reason you thought it was chanting before is it's more like just a beautiful humming.
Okay. Well, I will follow towards the source of the chanting.
Okay, so you come into it looks like a chapel. There's stained glass windows pouring down light, and in the center is seated on a fairly simple wheelchair is Irina.
Well, hello. Fancy meeting you here in a place like this. Unless you're stuck here. You're not an exhibit.
I'm not stuck here. I'm just... Mother got some portents and decided that while she couldn't come into attendance, that there was some things happening at this little gathering that I needed to monitor.
Oh. What are portents?
Signs, prophecies.
Oh. Were they like bad prophecies? I mean, not that I know anyone who was planning on doing anything here.
Simply that the scales of fate are balanced at this particular party.
Well, are you kind of bored while you're waiting? I mean, like...
I mean, that's why I was singing. It was...
Well, I'll tell you what.
This room had the best acoustics in the area.
There is, like, the pirate queen, Lord of the Seas. Like, basically, like, a pirate god over in this room over here. And I've got my play, and I was thinking about, like, maybe getting an impromptu table read going together, and we'll see, like, there's some board gin. They'll probably play, too. You want to come? I can give you a push. There's a part in here that I think is just perfect for you, too.
Make a persuasion check. Yeah, she looks at her. I have little desire to talk to Wenfang again. Mine and her family my family and her don't get along well.
Oh.
I've actually been actively avoiding her, to be honest.
Oh, I understand. I mean, I don't know her. I mean, she was a pirate. I can understand that. I just want her input. There's a couple of scenes in here that there are pirates, and I mean, like, I'm not like I don't want to be a troublesome actor, but you can always give notes on these scripts. If the notes are really good, I mean, that might impress the director.
Well, she has been plundering the high seas for a very long time. I'm sure if anyone can give you proper notes. on such things, it would be her.
So where's your mom? Is she here?
She is not allowed in the city of Brass.
Oh. Really? So like our little gnome friend?
More of a political thing than anything else.
Ah.
Copper dragons and the city of Brass don't really get along.
Got it. Wait, your mom's a copper dragon? What? That makes so much more sense now. Well, I mean, so you're here, we're here, you know. It's nice to have a friendly face. You know, if you see something, you should let us know. And we'll let you know if we see something, too. I gotta get this back.
Just be aware, Molly is here as well. I think last time she was on the second floor. She's fascinated by that freaking sword up there.
Does Marlo know who Molly is?
Yeah, she was the captain of the Crimson Zephyr.
Oh.
Ship.
Oh, that brought us.
Yeah, and Arena's sister.
Oh. With the sword?
She's
The shear?
Yeah, she's with the shear.
It's on the second floor.
It's on display on the second floor. I would recommend not touching it. The entire house might come crumbling down on you.
Oh yeah, we wouldn't want that. You know, I heard it's only like 1 or 2 pieces.
Yes.
Yeah. Both pieces?
Yes.
Really cut, like, you could really style, you know, a giant's hair, like, amazingly.
She actually looks at you very confused. You don't have the abyssal one, do you?
No, what? Do I look stupid?
Just know, reuniting those 2 pieces would not be a good thing. There's a reason they were separated in the first place. You can literally end somebody's existence. Not their life.
You don't need a giant pair of scissors to do that.
No, not their life, their existence. You can make it as though it never happened. I don't know if you understand what non-existence would be.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like existence, but like the opposite.
You would you would rip a hole in the very fabric of the universe if they were to be reunited.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, I don't have it.
Well,
you don't have it, right?
No, I do not.
So it's not like it's gonna happen. Unless, wait, is that the portent?
And that was one of them.
That's why it's portent, because it's like important.
Now, I would like to get back to my singing. You're welcome to join me, but if not, please go away.
Well, I'll come back. But again, you know, if you see something, you got friends here.
I thank you for your kindness.
And tell Molly that he needs to reteach Mist how to tie knots. She's horrible at it.
I'll let Molly know that.
And then he'll leave.
Okay.
And go back towards that room. The fireplace room.
Okay. What else is everybody doing?
Well, it looked like Rendell was hunting for Mist, and Mist was about to head to the dining room.
Okay, you guys, I mean, it's big, but you guys find each other fairly simply.
Rindle's gonna walk right up to her and tug her sleeve and say, "Hey, I need your help. Bring your purse." We're going back to the library.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Somewhat confused. Before we walk out of the dining room, is there anybody in the dining room right now?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few. No one really of note, I would say.
Okay.
Mostly people are just kind of eating here. There is some artwork on the walls, but
Okay.
you do notice overlooking you is a statue of a dragon that seems to be watching the guests fairly intently.
Okay. Rendell, you need my purse? What for?
Well, I need you to bring your purse. We'll talk about it there. It'll be a good time.
Oh, okay. I'll follow Rendell back to the library.
Okay.
So, once we get to the library, Rindle's gonna walk over to that bookshelf and he's gonna say, "Here's the thing. This is mine, and I need it back. I'm pretty sure the best way to get it out of here is in your purse."
So Mist looks at the book in the library and looks back towards the parlor area. Said, "You picked that up a little bit ago, didn't you?"
Well, yeah, it's mine. I wanted to make sure it was mine. I didn't want to just take something that wasn't mine first. I needed to verify it, so then I put it back before I came to get your purse.
You know, all the gargoyles in the parlor looked this way probably around the time frame you were touching that book.
Exactly, but once it's in your purse, it's not here anymore. Huh? And we're gonna put another book in there, and I'm gonna make it look like this book, and then we're gonna shut the door and lock it. Then we'll put that one in your purse, and it'll be a thing.
Can I do an insight check on Rendell?
Sure. Technically, he's not lying. Well, except about it being his. Chester, you're muted.
I mean, Arad is with me. We're kind of a team in this.
Okay.
I own his soul. His stuff
What
is mine.
did you roll, Mist?
12.
Go ahead and roll a deception check for me, though, Rindle.
Sure, I would love to. I'm exceptionally good at that.
Is Mealy with us?
I don't think so. Last we saw Mealy, she was...
In the parlor talking to the fiends.
Mm-hmm.
It's a logical
Okay.
place for a priestess to be.
Rindle
Hello.
seems honest. Yeah, he did. Book. I mean, what harm can a book do?
You mustn't read from the book.
Okay. So you really think that putting something in my bag will allow us to get it out?
Oh no! So yeah, that's the back end part of the plan. First, I extract that book.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put another book in its place. I make it look like this book. Close the door, lock it. Then we put this one in your purse. At the same time, that locks. So just in case, because you said there's things that know things. And then once it's not here, they can come and look and be like, "Oh, look, there it is. Who knew? It's still here."
Okay.
This sounds like not a great idea. What do we do after this happens, if the gargoyles are coming in?
See that window?
Yeah.
That's where you and your purse are gonna go.
But we're not done here. We've still got to figure out how to get
That's why
lights.
I'm gonna stay, but you and your purse are gonna go, and we'll meet up later. And
How
I
about-
will tell them that somebody else did it.
How about we do this towards the end of the evening after we get the rest of the information we need?
So here's the problem with that plan. If that goes badly and we have to do other chaotic things, I don't know that we're going to have the time or hands to come back for my book. And, this might be the only shot we get.
Could we find out if the book is also going to the vault in a day and 3 quarters?
It won't matter. We're not going to get back into this house if things go sideways.
Well, no, I'm talking about the vault. All the art exhibits going into the master's vault at the end.
Right. But we're gonna get that today. It's gonna be a really good time.
How about not towards the end of the evening, but at least a little bit more time exploring around and learning stuff so that I don't have to leave right away.
Okay. Can you open that lock without me?
Let me go look.
Without breaking things? Is that something you could do?
All right, let me go look at it. I'm going to look at the lock. I mean, he's already been fiddling with it, so...
Mm-hmm.
I can show her, like, can you do, like, prestidigitation, manipulate that lock from out here?
Prestidigitation?
It's not magical. Yeah, no.
I don't have prestidigitation.
So you see the problem now, and that means both of us have to come back here unless you want to try and break this, which may or may not be real glass. I don't even know.
Okay.
I was
so
very
we come
discreet.
back here after...
Together,
you...
then there's two of us, not just one of us.
How about I turn into a little mouse, you put me in your pocket when you come back here?
Well, then if you're a mouse and your purse is also shapeshifted, then it's like hiding within hiding. It's even better.
Yes.
We can do that now.
No, I mean, when we come back. That way, when you walk in, it's just you. That way you can say someone else ran out through the window. Right now, the people in the parlor saw us probably walk in here together.
Exactly. And then I'm going to tell them that you were kidnapped trying to defend the master's stuff and get credit.
This is a terrible plan.
Okay, so Mealy, what are you up to?
Well,
You would have seen Rindle and Mist walk back into the library too.
All right. I guess I'll go into the library and see what's going on.
You just hear this discussion going on.
Uh-huh. Oh. I'm just going to rub my head.
See? Mealy found us. This is not a good time to do this if we're going to do it.
Well, who invited her? See, this is actually even a perfect part because she can also swear that she had nothing to do with it. They're going to believe her. All right, so here's the thought. If you will promise me that no matter what happens out there before we leave tonight, even if it is running for our lives, you will divert into this room, get my book, and get out that window and meet up with us later, we can do this later. Otherwise, I'm going to need to do this now and put my book in your purse.
We can't do this now.
Well, then you have to promise to come back here later today before we leave.
I can only promise to try. We
Oh,
don't
no.
know what's going to go down.
There's no try. There is do.
Okay, okay, we will move on to Marla. We'll move back to Marla. Marla, what are you doing?
So
By the way, Catherine is just staring at. If anyone who cares is just staring at Lioness's statue. But
Oh, so she's not following me anymore?
No.
That's good.
okay. So when he goes through the main chamber,
Mhm.
Mist and Rindle are gone.
mm-hmm.
They're out in the one area.
Mm-hmm. I forgot to mention this, by the way. Also in the main chamber is a large staircase, beautifully ornate staircase with interesting figures carved into the kind of support columns for it.
Is Mealy? Where is Mealy though?
Mealy's.
Would I have to pass by Mealy?
I mean, you can go off and find it. They're
I'm not
not.
trying to avoid Mealy, but I mean, would I pass?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
No, you passed Mealy.
Okay. But Catherine is by herself, staring at the statue.
Kind of looking like she's trying to figure out the physics of picking up a solid golden statue.
So I'll walk through that room to try to see where Catherine is.
Mm-hmm.
Catherine, I mean, we're working on it, but we can't really do much until our host gets here.
Oh, I'm aware. She
Here, we'll get your mind off of it. Come with me. I got a plan. There's a lot of glum people in the next room too. I'm gonna try to cheer some people up, and maybe help myself out a little bit in the process.
Oh, okay. If you think it'll help. She follows you to the next room.
Okay. So there's a character in here named Sad Tubby Tommy. In your current state, you'd be perfect for it. I mean, it's a male part. But,
I've never done any acting before. It's not.
you don't really have to act. You just have to read.
Oh.
But if you want to act a little, you know.
Oh, okay. She's easily easily pulled along. She looks distraught. But she actually kind of puts some resistance going into the next room, but she follows you.
Yeah. And then when he walks in that room, people, sad people, bored people. Our host is not here. Let's liven this up. Let's play a little game. I've got I mean, we'll have to share the book. I only got one, but I mean, it's an original play. I mean, I didn't write it, but no one's seen it. You'll be the first people to perform this play. Just a little table read, you know?
The woman in the scarves walks in. Oh, at least something to get our mind off of how glum everybody is. And she puts a hand out for the papers.
Okay. Yeah. We're gonna need a table because I mean I only got one. Unless someone's got like.
There is actually a table. It's made again for giants, but you're able to kind of do everything. A lot of the Jinn, by the way, now seeing this paper, they all kind of shrink down to about your guys' size. So.
Cool. And that's what he does.
Okay, give me a performance check.
Oh!
It's not a very good play. I mean, you do what you can with the material you were given. We'll phrase it that way. But yeah, and like you're beginning to think, yeah, this is not a good play. Like halfway through it, you're pretty.
Orlo is really dejected because he's read it and then he starts to realize that whoever wrote this has no idea what it's like to be on the Seven Seas.
You do, however,
it's city bullshit.
Yeah. So Mealy, Rindle, and Mist, what are you guys up to?
Okay, so Mist is going to say, I'm willing to help you out, though I am at some point going to need to know how your book ended up in Sandeep's library. But for the moment, this is going to have to wait.
It's because it's not his book.
Oh, it is so. I'm going to turn around and look for whoever said that.
There's a red-skinned man about your guys' height. A pleasure to meet you. I am Sandeep.
Fantastic. I've been waiting to meet you. And so has the other person in my head who does own this book.
I do sense Arad's presence. It's been a long time.
I'm going to look at Mist and see, validated. Now, back to business. Are you actually here for a meeting, or did you have to stumble across? Because we did arrange for an introduction with you today.
I was here for a meeting, but I would like to also say I do not appreciate when people conspire to steal from me.
Well, you just admitted that you stole from me.
I admitted nothing. I am a collector of rare antiquities. And Arad has been deceased for quite a while. I did not expect him to appear in such a form as this.
I expected you to be 10 feet tall, and yet here we are. Either way, author, owner, still kicking one way or another, my book. But we can talk about that one after the business that brought us here, because that's neither here nor there. I do have something that I've been told may be of interest to you, and conveniently, you have multiple things that are of interest to me, him, and these people.
Quite.
Tell me, how do you feel about Grast?
He is a creature of ephemeral delights. I broke no love for the demon's princes.
Yeah, and how would you like to own something that he holds quite dear? And you know, you could either hold it as a trophy, being like, I stole this from so and so, I bought this from so and so, or guess what? Grass gave this to me and now it's mine. It's pretty awesome. Not gonna lie.
I would be most interested in such a thing. And what are you offering? One of his conquests?
His personal abyssal carriage that happens to be in my possession.
That is an interesting offer. I would be
rather
more
thought so.
interested in that sword you so.
Scott, you're muted somehow.
Oh, Problecito. He's not interested at all.
Scott, I can't hear you through the headset.
My headphones came unplugged.
Yep. So he's interested in the abyssal shooter.
Oh, quite.
I don't know that you have enough in this entire building to offset the value of that sword to my mistress, so I'm still waiting to hear how she'd prefer I dispose of it.
It is a remnant of a former time. I do not know if there is a way to dispose of it, but I could keep it safe.
I'm sorry, I didn't necessarily mean dispose. I meant depose, as in if she would like me to bring it to her in the Nine Hells. I don't know if you've ever heard of Fiona, but she's kind of my boss.
I know her quite well.
Yeah, she's kind of my boss, and I'm waiting to hear back what she would prefer the disposition of the sword is.
Oh, I suppose I should not interfere with her.
I find it's better to let her decide what she wants to do in my business as well. However, the carriage is definitely still on the table if you're interested. If not, I'm sure my friends can find another buyer and we can figure out some other means of doing that which we came to do.
Krat's carriage for your book back.
Actually, the carriage was intended for the chick out there in gold, if that's possible. Yeah.
Oh, no. The carriage for the book is a good deal on my part. I am nothing if not a businessman.
Really? I wrote that book. It's not that good.
But the carriage for a creature as rare as that one, no.
She's
think
kind of a bitch.
I think your companion here would be a much better prize. And he indicates
her.
Mist.
What?
You want her?
Me? What?
Oh, I have never seen such a creature in the plains. She seems new.
You muted yourself.
You're muted.
She's nubile, all right.
He actually looks disgusted at that one. He's like, no, not you.
That was intentional. I'm glad it had its effect.
Mist is slightly relieved at that.
I mean, she's her own to broker or negotiate. She's the one who really wants the chick in the gold statue anyway. I'm kind of facilitating here.
What do you want?
Oh,
with
a go-between. I can definitely appreciate a middleman.
That's what I do. So here's my card, by the way, if you ever need one.
He actually takes it. I will keep you in mind should I ever need information.
Fantastic.
What do you want with me?
Eep.
I sense something interesting in your being.
Okay.
Your cleric friend would also be a satisfying recompense, but I do not have anyone devoted to the Mother of Spiders in my collection yet.
Ooh. Looks like he outed you.
Are you wanting to turn me into one of these statues? Because that's weird.
It's the best way to store my treasures.
Rendell, I whispered to him, what else do we have?
I mean, I got a carriage that's pretty priceless. That's what I brought to the table on your behalf, and he would rather have you than that slick-ass carriage out there. So I guess we just need to decide how badly you want your friend back.
I don't want to get turned into a statue.
Negotiate. Tell him that you'd be willing to stay for a certain amount of time in his collection, not as a statue.
You do know I can hear you.
Again, I'm a middleman. It would just be piss poor manners of me to talk to her without letting you hear.
Ah.
Remember, you've already slighted my manners once. I'm trying to be nice here.
Okay, yeah, Marlo, you're still doing your play. Yeah, so... If that's not the business, and I am nothing if not a businessman, I have guests I need to return to. If you need time to think on it, the party continues for the next few hours.
Okay. Yeah, getting turned into a statue as part of your collection is not a good deal on my part to get the lioness back.
So Riddle's going to actually turn and try and counter on her behalf. Is there another means of her existing in your collection for a negotiated time frame that we could bring to term here today? Or does she have to be a statue?
She very much needs to be a statue. Preservation is what is the heart of collection.
Well, I mean, you could render her immortal without making her a statue, couldn't you? I mean... I know
such a thing as that is a very dark art. I'm not sure you would be willing to pay the price for such a thing.
She loves the dark arts. She also loves not being a statue.
I'm sorry. Even there are things even beyond my powers.
Yeah, I've heard that actually. The town is rife with such rumors.
If you are trying to get me to do something out of pride, you should know I am beyond such trickery. By the way, make a deception check on that one, please.
Sure. I would love to make a deception check. I love deception checks. Can I use the Dark One's Own Luck, or whatever the fuck it's called here that I got at 6th level?
Sure.
Yeah, Dark One's Own Luck. Gets me a 1d10 additional to my...
Yep.
Plus, so that's the base, and then I'm gonna add a 1d10.
Okay. But if you need a demonstration of my abilities, I can arrange something.
I mean, it would have to be in the proper venue to believe that you're capable of what you're, saying you could do. Not just oh, cool, I blew up a city. Because that has no bearing on this discussion whatsoever.
And what would give you a show of my power beyond destruction?
Well, I mean, my friend here is considering joining your collection if there was a way to preserve her without being a statue or inanimate in any way. You were worried about maintaining her youthful vigor and appearance and uniqueness. She would like to, prove that she's alive to people on a routine basis.
As I said, there are things even beyond my capabilities, but perhaps there's something else, some other way to show my strength to the people.
I don't know about the people. I'm just trying to broker a deal here. The people talk. They have all sorts of things to say. I can't control.
And who are these people that talk of my weakness?
Oh, the ones that keep telling us that basically if we don't be, everyone's like, hey, we want this, we want this, we want this. Apparently there's a lot of people trying to get your attention today, discuss the things that they want. And apparently you're accustomed to saying no a lot and getting your way, but there's a lot of people who are kind of saying, well, maybe if we all band together and do this together, whatever. We're trying to be on the up and up here, as you can see.
My guests are conspiring. Are they?
I think the whole city's conspiring. You're a very popular guy.
Well, then perhaps a show of force is in order. And he snaps his fingers, and suddenly you see a shimmer goes across every window.
Okay.
I will offer a boon. A contest is in order. People think that I am too weak. He puts up a bauble.
A bobblehead?
No, sorry, a diamond, a very large diamond, about the size of his fist.
Gotcha.
The first, and his voice booms, and so Marlowe, you can hear it from everywhere. It seems to be coming from everywhere in the house. In my hands, I hold a diamond. The first creature that can take it from me shall get whatever their hearts desire. Perhaps the freedom of the creatures they come here to see. But only one of you shall gain this boon.
Is the shear on the table for this?
Everything in this house is available.
Interesting.
Meet me at the top tower. I await whoever comes there first, and then he disappears.
Can you write a better play?
Yes. You suddenly, everybody
A monkey could.
starts looking at each other.
Great. Great.
Okay,
I guess
Mist,
it's
now that
right.
he's gone, we're going to bust open this glass door here. We're going to get the book. We're going to put it in your purse.
I'm going to go look at the. I'm going to look at the shimmering over the windows.
Okay,
But I need you to get
unfortunately,
the
none
book.
of you are around it. Well, actually, Marlowe, you are. So, for you three, you suddenly hear some crashing. Marlowe, I need you to roll initiative.
Oh, okay. How about the window while he's rolling?
What about the window?
The shimmer that went down the window. I want to inspect it as Rindle is asking me to take the book.
As you go to touch it, there seems to be something very solid on the window. You don't quite know what it is. Well, you can do an Arcana check if you want.
Okay. That's a 13.
Okay. Okay, you don't know what it is, Mist. It's something very solid, but like you get the sense that you couldn't break it.
Rindle, I don't think I can get out this window.
That's presently unimportant. For now, we're just going to get the book and we're going to put it in your purse. Part 1. Part 2, we're going to go get that gemstone. Part 3, you're going to kick that demon's ass. Part 4, our alleged spider kisser over here is going to weigh in pretty mightily with her hammer if she knows what's good for her. Part
Like I'm gonna
5,
be like, I don't have my hammer. We all turned them all in.
yeah, he didn't say we couldn't have them anymore, so we're going to swing by the coat check and get those on our way to the top of the tower and say it's part of the challenge. Work with me, people. I'm hearing a lot of they saying I need assistance, not excuses.
Marlowe, I need you to make suddenly two of the Jinn kind of increase in size yet again, and I need you to make a strength saving throw, please, as a whirlwind starts just ripping through the area you're in. Okay, so you're able to stay on your feet as it just buffets you, and the two Jinns just start running towards the door. Yeah. It's now, and it's your turn. And I think we'll probably do. Actually, can I get initiative checks from everybody now? Marlowe's yours stays where it's at, but I need to know where everyone's at. Okay. Okay, so Rindle, you're first. You were having this conversation. Same thing with Mealy. So Marlo, what are you doing?
I look over at Wunfeng and Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he didn't really say what the rules were, and I vault myself over the glass case and I grab the spear.
Okay, make an acrobatics check for me, please.
An acrobatics check.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, easy enough. You hop in, you grab that spear out of the case. You take there's a pulse of energy as you hear just a "please free me" in your head.
We're working on it. And I'm running up the stairs. Or jumping out.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do one more round and then we'll end for the day, just so I know what everyone's doing. So, but Mist, you were talking, so we go back up to Rindle. Actually,
okay.
Before I do that, Marlo, you actually notice Wenfeng just kind of sits back, rubbing her head, like in frustration. And Catherine, who is in here, at first looks like she wants to, like she's casting something that you kind of recognize as Misty Step, but it fails. And she looks really confused. And then starts running off as well. Okay, so now back up. Rindle.
Alright. Rindle's gonna telepathically say, Arazu, my sword, and then I'm gonna prestidigitation that little latch lock open again and swipe out my book.
Okay.
And I'm gonna thrust it at Mist and be like, your purse. Put this in your purse.
My companions are going to get me killed. Into the purse it goes.
Okay. Mealy, what are you doing?
Going to go get my hammer, I guess.
Okay, so you rush off as you enter the next room, and Marlo, you kind of overheard some stuff going. The Bone Devils and and it looks like the two Yanti, they're surrounding the Bone Devils are surrounding the Yanti, and they seem to be just going at it and just beating the crap out of each other. You can interfere if you want, or you just running through.
I'm just going to go get my hammer.
Okay. Are you going through where Marlo is, or are you going to go through the dining room? They're pretty much equidistant, so.
I guess I'll go through where Marlo is.
Okay. So yeah, you see this whirlwind, but this place actually seems relatively safe. There doesn't seem anybody hostile except Marlo running off.
All right.
Marlo, you're just running, or are you gonna go try to get a? Oh, you actually have the Zephyr. So.
I grabbed the spear off of the. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go grab my own weapon. I got a weapon.
Okay. So you're gonna run up the stairs then?
Yeah.
Okay. I need you to.
Depending on, is there people up on the stairs? Like,
oh yeah, there's a bunch of people. Like what just got announced? People are beating the crap out of each other, throwing each other through.
So I'm actually going to try to jump onto the railing and then run up the railing.
Okay. You don't have a climb speed though, right? So you have. No. Okay. Go ahead and give me an athletics or an acrobatics check, please.
Yeah, they're the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're able to kind of run up the railing and kind of avoid a lot of the fighting, but it's a pretty steep climb, so it's taking you a bit, and I think that's where we'll end for the day.
Aw, don't I get a turn?
Oh, sorry, we'll go ahead and get Mist. What are you gonna do?
All right, so I go ahead and let Rendell put his book in my bag, but then I run out to where the Yanti and the Bone Devils are fighting.
Mm-hmm.
They're all distracted.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab the horse and put it in the bag.
Make a sleight of hand check for me, please.
Okay.
She's gonna sleight of hand a horse? That's awesome.
Please note this horse is like this big.
17.
Oh yeah, how are you going to get it in the bag?
It's not a small. Remember, you're in a giant area, so everything that's. I mean, it's this big.
Yeah, it's going into the center portion.
Okay.
It should fit in there. 17.
Okay. At that, you actually see the female Yanti sees you do this and says, "I don't think so. Make a Constitution saving throw for me, please." As her eyes go, her hair starts turning into something almost snake-like, and her eyes go milky white.
We'll see how snake-like she can be. Oh, sorry. Wrong movie.
That's a 10.
Okay, so you suddenly, you stick it in your bag, and then you go to walk, and suddenly you realize your feet are turning to stone.
Damn it! I was grabbing this for you! I actually say that.
Okay. Now, that's where we'll stop today.
Alright.
No reaction to me telling her I was grabbing it for them.
We'll find out. We'll find out next week.
Great!
Jerk face. I'm not gonna sleep all week, no.
I know!
Who kicked off this chaos? What the hell?
It's full moon.
The full moon probably left as soon as it got weird. Oh, no one wants to sign my book?
Oh, I know where full moon is. I know where he's at. So
Okay.
he's here.
What did he separate from us just when we all went
Yeah,
looking,
right when you guys got in.
and we just never saw him again?
Because you guys never went to the
told all
second
of our
floor.
secrets. He ratted us out. He told those guys we were here, I'm telling you. Awesome.
You also have Del Vega entered as well, and you haven't seen him either. And you don't know when he disappeared. He's very good at that. Have a good one, everybody.
Thanks, Scott. See you next week.
See ya.
Thanks.
This
Thank
is going to be
you.
awesome. So excited.
I'm excited too. This is epically awesome and bad.
I gotta compliment you too. Your Afridi has a really good voice. Play him well.
I have to work on my accent. So.